GAD planning and budgeting for local government units. The local government units, or LGUs, play a significant role in addressing gender issues and concerns that affect both women and men, especially the marginalized groups. These gender issues or concerns prevent us from equal access to basic services and facilities, equal opportunities and trainings for women and men, promoting women's economic empowerment, political participation and representation, and ending violence against women and girls, among others. But how can you help address these issues and concerns? What is your stake in building a just and equal society? How can you contribute in achieving a vision of a gender-fair and gender-responsive community? RA 9710, or the Magna Carta of Women, MCW, and the General Appropriations Act mandate national government agencies as well as local government units to prepare an annual Gender and Development, or GAD, plan and budget. The annual GAD plan and budget is a systematically designed set of programs, projects, and activities, and shall address specific gender issues and concerns, and GAD mandate of an organization. In 2013, the Philippine Commission on Women, or PCW, together with the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, and National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, issued Joint Memorandum Circular 2013-01, or the Guidelines on the Localization of the Magna Carta of Women, to prescribe policies and procedures in mainstreaming gender perspectives in local planning, programming and budgeting, local legislation, project development, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation pursuant to MCW. The JMC was amended to clarify process of costing, allocation, distribution of the GAD budget, schedule to be observed in GAD planning and budgeting, as well as the duties and functions of DILG as the lead agency in the review, endorsement and monitoring of submission of GAD plans and budgets, and accomplishment reports of local government units. Here are the essential elements an LGU needs to consider in preparing GAD plan and budget to effectively plan and implement its programs on GAD. The LGU shall have the following. Number 1, GAD Focal Point System, or GFPS. Guidelines for the creation, strengthening, composition, and roles of GFPS can be found in PCW, DILG, DBM NEDA, JMC 2013-01. Number 2, GAD Capacity Development. It is important that members of the GFPS have capacity development trainings on gender and development. Number 3, Gender Audit. A conduct of gender audit is also needed to examine the level of gender mainstreaming or extent of gender responsiveness of its policies, programs, projects, and level of awareness and competence of its personnel to adopt gender mainstreaming. Number 4, GAD Database and Sex Disaggregated Data. The establishment and maintenance of GAD database and presence of sex disaggregated data will aid the LGU in servicing gender gaps or differences among women and men. So, as a member of the GAD Focal Point System, or GFPS, in your local government units, what are the steps you need to consider in formulating your GAD plan and budget? First, in consultation with local functionaries or stakeholders, the LGU shall set the GAD agenda or identify priority gender issues during the 3-year term of its leadership. GAD agenda can be derived from the results of gender analysis using available sex disaggregated data or information from the LGU GAD database. The GFPS shall help in facilitating said GAD agenda. Second, the LGU shall identify programs, projects, and activities, or PPAs, to address priority gender issues. PPAs may be client-focused or organization-focused. The GAD agenda shall be the basis for the annual formulation and monitoring of PPAs, which should be reflected in your GPB. In the absence of GAD agenda, the LGU should refer to the Comprehensive Development Plan, or CDP, together with the Local Development Investment Program, or LDIP, as the key documents which should guide program or project proponents in determining priority PPAs for the GPB that need to undergo gender mainstreaming. Third, proper allocation of GAD budget is important. GAD budget is prepared based on the estimated cost of functions and PPAs translated from the demands or commitments identified in your GAD plan. Do you know how much your LGU should allocate in your GAD programs? At least 5% of the total LGU budget appropriations authorized under the annual budget shall correspond to programs, projects, and activities responding to gender issues. Please remember that GAD budget is not an additional budget, and it may be drawn from the following: maintenance and other operating expenses, or MOOE, personnel services, or PS, capital outlay, or CO. The 5% GAD budget shall endeavor to influence the remaining 95% of the LGU budget toward gender responsiveness. And lastly, LGUs must apply the Harmonized Gender and Development Guidelines, or HGDG, to assess the gender responsiveness of its major programs and projects. During the preparation of their GAD plan and budget, LGUs may attribute a portion or the whole of the program's budgets to the GAD budget through the application of the HGDG tool using the appropriate design checklist. While for the preparation of GAD accomplishment report, LGUs will again subject the report of the same program or project to the HGDG by using the Project Implementation and Management and Monitoring and Evaluation, or PIMME, checklist. The results of the HGDG assessment, together with the supporting documents of the attributed PPAs, such as project proposals and other supporting documents, are an integral part of the GPB. Are we still on track? So what are the important dates that should be remembered in preparing for the LGU annual GPB? Every January, the local chief executive shall issue a directive for the preparation of GPB and GAD accomplishment report. From January to February, the LGU's GAD Focal Point System Technical Working Group shall review and consolidate inputs submitted by the LGU department or officers on the preparation of GPB and GAD-AR. By March, the LGU shall submit their GPB and GAD-AR already to the DILG. By April to May, the DILG shall review and endorse the GPB and GAD-AR. The LCE shall issue a budget call to all LGU departments and offices from June to July. LGUs shall integrate identified gender issues and concerns and GAD goals, strategies, objectives, targets, and PPAs of the GPB during the updating of your local development plans and policies. By July and August, LGUs shall integrate the endorsed GPB PPAs in their annual budget proposals. Local Finance Committee, or LFC, shall ensure integration of the GPB in the LGU budget proposals during the technical budget hearings. that clear already? Now, let's talk about the process in submitting, reviewing, and endorsing the GAD plans and budgets of the local government units. All provinces, highly urbanized cities or HUCs, and independent component cities or ICCs shall submit their GAD plans and budgets together with GAD accomplishment reports to the regional office of the DILG. The same process applies if the local government unit is located within Metro Manila. The DILG regional office will then review the GAD plans and budgets submitted to them to make sure that the content is gender responsive and aligned with national priorities, mandates, and GAD-related laws. So how about the component cities and municipalities across the country? They will submit GAD plans and budgets to their respective Provincial Planning and Development Office or PPDO where they belong. The Provincial Planning and Development Office will then submit the GAD plans and budgets to the Provincial Office of DILG for review and endorsement. You must be wondering if barangays are also required to submit their respective GAD plans and budget. Yes, absolutely. The policy says the barangays shall submit GAD plans and budgets to their respective city or municipal planning and development office, or CMPDO. Then the latter will ensure alignment to the city or municipal GAD programs, activities, and projects before submitting to the DILG City Municipal Local Government Operations Office, or C/MLGOO. That sums up the submission process of the GAD plans and budgets. Remember that DILG-endorsed GAD plans and budgets should be accompanied with certificate of endorsement from the DILG regional, provincial, city, or municipal offices. Note also that once the endorsed GAD plans and budgets are returned to LGUs, their local chief executives or LCEs should issue corresponding policies to disseminate and implement the GAD plans and budgets. So that ends our insightful learning session about the process in submitting, reviewing, and endorsing the GAD plans and budgets of the local government unit. The GAD plan and budget is one of the mechanisms in advancing gender mainstreaming at the local level. We hope that local government units shall implement programs accordingly and spend GAD funds judiciously. Let's work together in achieving a gender-responsive and gender-fair community. For GAD-related technical assistance, LGUs may coordinate with its respective DILG offices or other GAD experts in their locality. For more information, visit www.pcw.gov.ph.